Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
And one final illustration that Christ gives is this: at the end of the age, I will separate the sheep from the goats. The goats on my left hand and the sheep on my right. And right there in this illustration, one of the things, at least, at minimum, one of the things that we can conclude is that not every human being, by virtue of being a human being created in the image of God, is by default a sheep. I'll say that again. Not every human being, merely by virtue of being created in the image of God, which all human beings are, but that alone does not default someone into the category of a sheep. Because Jesus tells us, at least, at minimum, there are two categories, not merely one: sheep and goats. We could go beyond that, looking at other teachings of Christ, and say that there are three, or arguably four categories. There are sheep and goats, and there are shepherds and wolves. Now, to be fair, I would say that shepherds and wolves are subcategories. That every single human being falls into one of the two primary categories of a sheep or a wolf. And then those who are shepherds, all human shepherds are ultimately under shepherds. Christ, according to 1 Peter 5, is the chief shepherd, but he appoints under shepherds as stewards in his house to help care for his sheep. And these under shepherds, they themselves, while being shepherds, are also sheep. So you have sheep and goats, and then you have sheep, and under shepherd sheep. And then in the goat category, you have goats, and you have wolf goats. Wolves are goats, but they're also wolves. Shepherds are sheep, but they're also shepherds. But the two primary categories, once more, are sheep and goats. Now, John chapter 10, full circle back. Jesus claims to be the good shepherd who lays his life down for the sheep. He does not die for goats. He does not die for wolves. He does not die for tares. He does not die for bad fish. He dies for the sheep.